disruptive and find some cheeky angles, find some cheeky corners that they won't expect, maybe you'll see some rounds really start to pile up. But I think fish123 should be having the better start here.
Oh, I mean, obviously, with the way we saw PartyParrots play day one on Haven, it was not exactly a great showing.
Yeah.
Narrowly defeating Need More DM. Here comes the push towards the B site. Scream's going to make contact here from back behind the big box. EC1S is there as well with a bit of paranoia support. The wall's going to come down as the Boombot tunnels towards the back side of site. Still no spike plant coming in here as they're trying to get control, but there's Scream doing Scream things. He's brought it down to 1. It'll be Xiao who sneaks through that smoke over towards the A connector. Scream, you know he wants the ace. He's going to play the 50-50. Not going to get it right. The wall's going to go up. The round is very much fish123's.
You know, they talk about as one taps, but then when you see it live right before your eyes, you're like, okay, all right, Scream. Of course, for the side of PartyParrots, it did funnel in. It was quite easy for him to just click on some heads, but at the bare minimum, Xiao gets himself an ult point. I think that's about as much as he can get. Maybe he'll end up with a frag. He still has 30 seconds left, and it is, of course, the pistol, so really anything could happen. But all of the remaining members are hovered around the spike. Scream, of course, has the courtyard on lock, but I think the first engagement will be between the player and Gong, and now they'll actually spot out and hear that shot. Scream now with the cross, looking for the ace, gets down to 20. But with 10 seconds left on the clock, it is down to 2 here for Xiao. Avoids the fault line, and shots won't connect as Link will take out Xiao. In round 1, going, of course, to fish123. And, you know, for a map that is, in most cases, a little, can be a little attacker-sided, it is quite good to actually win the pistol on defense, because now they'll set up, they'll have weaponry. Scream's got a Phantom, and I'm very afraid of what's about to come. I have a feeling that Phantom's going to do a lot of damage in the rounds to come, and PartyParrots really need to find some great angles when they're pushing in onto some of these sites.
You know, in some of the games that we've covered thus far for the event, the conversation always been who's going to bring the op to the table, and is it going to match the op on the other side? Is it going to be as good? In this matchup, it's like, okay, well, who's going to try to match Scream's performance? Who's going to be the one that can match that level of output coming in from the rifle? And we don't want to just sound like we're Scream fans necessarily, but I love the way that he's been playing since he swapped off the Sage. He was okay early on as a Sage. He wasn't bad, but the character just didn't necessarily make sense to me. And this is something we saw from a lot of players. Early on, they would start with the Brim or the Sage. It was easy to understand, pretty quick to pick up if you were a player coming in from another game, like Counter-Strike that's non-ability based. Brim more specifically because his toolkit basically is Counter-Strike. It's smokes and a molly. But Sage worked out really well for a lot of people early on, looking at players like Wardell, who played Sage early on, then started to feel more comfortable with a character like Sova and like Jet. And you've actually seen the performance go up as a result. So I like the fact that Scream has changed agents over to the Breach. I still think there's maybe even a better match for him, potentially in the likes of Reyna, which we saw him play for a little bit, or even as the Omen. Here comes the push towards the site. Solcus is going to get 2 spraying down with the SMG at EC1S, or Eccles, excuse me, over towards Short, able to pick off 1 with the Ghost as well. Going to find a follow-up onto Dinks Jades, all up to Xiao backside with the SMG. He'll take out Scream, but gets dropped down to 6 HP again. The Rays left alone in the 1v many. It's likely to be around, and it is for fish123.
And at the bare minimum, they get to keep that Phantom in play. And I don't know if Eccles is going to hold on to that or pass it back over to Scream. Or, nope, Scream is just going to buy himself a brand new Phantom. And they'll even get the Operator in play. So usually you'll see a little bit of like a weird round for the winner of the first 2 rounds here. They'll sometimes stick to the SMG, sometimes stick to the Bulldogs. But I actually think that their buy, or what they have cooking this round, is quite comparable to the opposite side. Of course, you're going to have Link play closer towards Garage. He's got the Judge. There's no way he's going to play mid, per se. And so we'll see how this round now goes for the PartyParrots. I'm not quite sure if they now realize that there's an Operator in play and that the economy is not too bad on the defense.
Eccles holding the angle with the Operator on Short. There are quite a few players moving in that territory. Again, you've got Link rocking the Judge. We've seen how the Judge has slowly crept into the competitive meta. and it is so incredibly annoying. It is so frustrating to encounter that close-range judge player, so powerful at close range. Solkas is going to send a recon dart down, and will actually spot one out, but there's the ult being popped by the Rays. We knew it was coming. The rocket's going to go in. It's a little bit too far, so it doesn't actually do much, as Solkas had snuck into the corner, but the site defense does have to back off the call-out, so site control here for PartyParrots.
We'll get that spike down too, so now it is up to fish123 to push back in. A 5v5 retake, which you don't see too often. Usually decisions are made based off of a pick, and so now PartyParrots find the opening that they need to use a lot of utility to get on the site, which means they might not have utility left to dissuade them from pushing forward. We are seeing a pip off to the side to see how the push comes in. Solkas with one, looking for the second, won't find the trade, but it's Scream and Cryptics that'll find two. Eccles up in heaven with the operator, but it's just down to him. He's gonna try to find that second frag, but it's the escape here from Artist down to the 1v1, and now around the corner, it's good as PartyParrots, they'll put a round on the board. Oh no, but it's the spike that takes out everyone, but still, of course, the round going to the attack.
Artist went for it. He went to grab that operator off the ground, and he couldn't get close enough because he was so afraid of that spike detonating. So as he tries to reach for it, realizes, oh shoot, I missed. Doesn't matter at that point. Like, I don't think he could have gotten it anyway. He wanted to, he was hopeful, but realistically speaking, he was done for. So an expensive round for both sides. Everyone dies. But luckily for fish123, they're still able to afford a buy. This is a breakpoint round. This is a round that kind of tips things over in your favor. If you can win this one, your opponent will be broke coming into the round that follows. It can be a swing round. So Angel's going to lead in first towards mid. Oh no!
Oh.
Link going for the wall at the worst possible time. As he walks through, the timing is just oh so punishing. And at this point, the remaining members might be considering a save. They've lost full B control, and we haven't really seen much utility use coming in from the attack.
Yeah, we are going to see on the opposite side, though, DinksJ still kind of lurking around back near the spawn. It is Eccles who's up on a box with a judge, and if DinksJ manages to walk through, he'll be faced with a world of hurt. Of course, the spike is down, and the defense, like you said, likely looking to save, but they're still looking at a couple of angles, at least Solkas and Eccles are, at potentially some early looks. I think it might be the breach player that's about to fall here, but they actually don't overextend, still holding close towards the spike. And like you said, it's going to be a very difficult round to come, but fortunately for fish123, they find a frag onto Angel. But what they don't have is the economy moving on into that next round. And so some of the members, including Scream himself, one of the most impactful players here for fish123, likely not going to have the weaponry to tango in the round to follow. But it's tied up 2-2.
Eccles almost got an early little present there, or a late present on the round with the judge waiting on top of that box. There was a target coming right around the corner, but the round ends before you'll even see that shotgun fire away. A little bit of a better start than what we saw from PartyParrots at previous times throughout this tournament on this map in particular. Haven has given them a bit of difficulty. We watched them barely beat Need More DM. They lost to G2 13-8, but in the Need More DM game, they went down 6-0 to start. So you like to see them rebound. To be fair, that was one of the earliest matches in the event. So at the same point in time, you got to give them credit. Maybe they were just waking up, because they did eventually take that series, just took it to overtime to do so. Here, we will have a weak buy coming in from fish123. Obviously, the gun salvaged from the previous round, offering a little bit of extra firepower. You've got the judge over in short, and that's Eccles currently waiting for the push to come that direction. But you can see the patience right now from PartyParrots, understanding that these corners may not always be so safe because they know some guns came in from the previous round.
Will be the correct call to go down banana, but unfortunately for a certain artist, it's going to be the judge that does not pan out, but around the corner goes Solkas, and the Bucky will be there to avenge. That's going to be another, looking for the third from range, cannot get it, but it's still two frags that are able to defend the sites, giving Cryptics enough time to get on with the Phantom. It's going to be the swing onto Shao, looking for the second. It's DinksJ that'll be there for the avenge kill, but unfortunately a Cyber Cage will not stop Scream from winning that duel with the pistol. Spike still going down to the 1v1 SSK. Sorry, 1v2, now the 1v1 SSK. Going to be up against Link, who is lurking in through the sewers there. But, oh, real close round here for PartyParrots. But off of a broken buy, fish123 will find the round.
I don't know how Eccles loses that fight and the round still turns around, because he was in a great position to get not only one but two. Had he been able to fire away on that Sage, he takes out Artist, and then he gets a follow-up on the target trying to refrag or trade that kill. And instead, he dies without even sending one shot out of that shotgun. But somehow Solkas with the Bucky from distance, able to blast away at the Sage, also picks one off over on long, does significant damage to Xiao, and the timing just starts working out across the board. Great Rolling Thunder coming in from Scream. That allows him to run in with just a classic and pick up one kill. It comes down to the 1v1, and you've got the flanking Link able to find a Vandal on one of those corpses. And the timing almost got the best of him, but they were able to get back into that site and force that 1v1 fight in their direction. So fish123 steal a round away here from PartyParrots. That should have seen them grab that lead. And oh, I love this maneuver from Scream. Getting aggressive in mid, and he just doesn't miss. Taking out Artist, backing off as well, so they don't lose that man advantage.
Something that we see Angel do from time to time, but of course he's not on the defense, he's on the attack, and so unfortunately for PartyParrots, this is going to be the force up for them this round. They have got obviously weapons to still compete with fish123, but a tough round to lose if the defense are able to hold them off. Eccles here with the operator. It's looking like it's going to be the B push, but it'll likely be followed up with some smokes. And somehow, some way, Xiao sees Eccles in the back corner before he can even grab a shot. Seems to be that angle just did not favor Eccles there. Xiao going to try to clear out the back of sight. It's the Gong that gets blasted there by the Showstopper. Smokes down as well. It's the Hunter's Fury to delay that plant. And now Xiao sees one around the corner. Scream's going to find 3 on the round. Solkas as well to follow suit. And it's going to just be cleanup duty after Eccles manages to fall. They get control of the site, but for some reason aren't able to clear all the possible different entryways. Spike can't even go down, and it's fish123 now leading by 2.
Saw a little bit of a push from PartyParrots. Thought maybe they could get over that hurdle after really hurting the money from fish123. But again, we saw them steal that round away, and instead the opposite has happened. PartyParrots now broke, going to be working with Sheriffs and other pistols. Slow Orb going out into window early on. Angel is instead coming up through mid. The wall is going to make things a little bit more difficult. There's a smoke coming down as well from the Omen over towards doors. That was all the way over on the A site in heaven. So Eccles, the only one playing A side defense currently. Scream's got a target right behind it. You keep wanting to see him shoot, not going to happen. Scream backing off. There's bodies built up in mid right now, and it does look like they're going to be going more towards B. They're probably going to chip away at that ice and try and get a spike plant with the Sage wall. But there is 2 players there, and Scream is ready for a fast rotate. Problem is, does he anticipate this player right around the corner? So here comes the push. There's the nice tap shot coming out from Link. Link starting to spray away with that rifle. Can't quite hit those shots, so they do lose sight control, and Breach does end up getting the kill onto Scream. So Scream goes through. SSK was waiting around the corner. Exactly what we thought we might see ends up happening, and they've got themselves at a 5-on-3. This is the reverse of what happened to them just a few rounds ago.
You know, these B-site plants can be quite chaotic, and we're now seeing that chaos still continue. Cryptic's looking to push on in and try to find some vengeful picks here. It's still the 4v5 rather, and still doable, of course. SSK has a long distance angle towards the spike from the window. Shock dart's gonna be good, but it's Xiao with the Sheriff getting it done, but unfortunately has to reload the rounds. And it's just down to 2 final players here. Angel with 2 on the Ghost, all up to Solkas now. And it's a face full of lead from Angel himself. A thrifty round. You know, not everyone really had the weaponry to tango there. But those B-side takes can be so difficult to get back for the defense. There's so many angles to check. And unfortunately for fish123, I for some reason thought that they were going to be able to clutch that round back into their favor. Well, not really clutch, but really just fight their way through. But a good hold from the PartyParrots.
I mean, I loved what we saw from PartyParrots there. They put SSK around the corner, outside of Garage, knowing that once they take mid control, you're going to see that rotate, and Scream is not prepared for it. So he gets shot in the back. They lose one on the B side defense during the entry, and the other has to back off after only getting one kill. And that same player just went down. Link falls early in the round. They lose that Sage, so they lose the heal, and they lose all the associated utility with Sage that makes her oh so incredibly powerful. Xiao waiting for this long C push, somehow beaten out by Cryptix. The Phantom just beats him in the duel. So what could have been a 5-on-3 here ends up being a 4-on-4. We're back to even strength. We have the Rolling Thunder available for PartyParrots, along with the Neural Theft. Neural Theft on the other side as well, along with Omen's TP. But, we see what Eccles able to come down mid and catch him off guard. Able to get across as well, using that port, gets sprayed through the wall just a bit. Paranoia is perfect and on the money, but his target gets into the corner before he can open fire.
Cryptix now looking to get a part of the action here. A quick trade of frags down to Artist now in the 1v2. Has the spike in hand, and it's the tripwire that'll ruin the surprise. Still looking to try to get it planted at the bare minimum, but Eccles is on the prowl. And unfortunately for Artist, he puts the wall up, but little does he know there's one lurking through connector. Shot's going to be good, and it's fish123. I put another round on the board. And to really touch on the defender side here for fish123, up against NIP, it was a 9-3 half. Fish was able to win the first 3. NIP won 2 in a row. And then after that, it was very difficult for NIP to even get a plant down. And so still, it's fish123. They've got the 2-round lead. But will we see a 9-3 half? I don't think so. I think PartyParrots are still fighting well. And both teams are kind of just going for each other's throat.
It is very close rounds currently. With some exception, these rounds have gone back and forth. And a lot of these round wins have been hard fought, coming down to sometimes one player, sometimes ending in 0 as the spike detonates and takes out the last remaining member. We'll see how things progress. As again, PartyParrots on the buy. Ooh, Angel. He's managed to sneak into Garage, just barely gets around that slow orb, but has to take out the tripwire. Can't advance much further. We are going to be seeing a C play potentially here. You can see 4 players currently grouped up over on long C towards the orb. Cryptix backside right now as the Cypher, getting support from the Sage, who's really just watching for the Garage jump through the window and into the door. There's the Rolling Thunder and the ult. See you later, Cryptix. Nothing can be done. Has to run through the entire ult. Link has to surrender sight control, uses the wall to get high, ends up taking out Dinksjay. Eccles is there with the backup already as the port came through from the Omen. So a nice turnaround from fish123 despite losing that early C-site defender.
Okay, Angel's going to find one for his money. Still going to be one more in the window, but repositioning now to try to find a different angle. The flash might be very difficult now to deal with. Eccles going to find Xiao from a distance, and it's all down to Angel. We've seen him lead his team to victory, but now it's all down to him. Maybe looking through the alleyway, doesn't see anyone here as they've already left and gone, holding down the spike on the C side. He might be able to find one here, but it does look like Scream is going to swing the corner and he'll be dealt with. Still a 1v2, and quite honestly, can be doable for Angel, but time is starting to run out, and they'll just set up a line of fire together. One thing that I really liked about both teams there, usually we saw yesterday and the day before, teams don't clear out that angle behind Plat, and I don't know why. We saw so many players get away with just sitting in that corner, getting 1, getting 2, and then the attack is like, oh man, why didn't we check that corner? But that was a great orbital strike. There was nothing that Cryptix could do. He just had to run, and he wasn't able to outrun the ultimate. But what I like on the return is Link was able to boost up, get a good angle over the smoke, and that really caused some chaos for PartyParrots that they weren't really able to deal with.
Early Garage control again here. Angel just goes right in. Eccles gunning down Xiao. Scream picking off Artist as well. Great start to the round. Angel wanted to get into Garage early and potentially take out that Garage window player, but he'll get put down on just 6 HP, and there's no Sage, so no heal coming in from Angel. So close to death currently with that Guardian. His teammate died bottom mid with the Sheriff. You've got SSK on the Phantom. Or not the Phantom, excuse me, the Frenzy. What am I talking about? The Frenzy moving up short. If he had a Phantom, that'd be impressive. Yes. On the Frenzy, moving up short, where we've got the Omen. Eccles currently holding this up in heaven. And because of his positioning, SSK is going to get a great backstab onto the B site and actually is going to catch the Sova potentially flying that drone around in mid. So this is a free kill and gun upgrade here for SSK.
Nice. Nice. You love to see it. Can't find the second one, though. So already that gun is not necessarily wasted, but just out of commission. Eccles, though, has already swapped his angle, and now he's going to see a couple coming onto the site. Has to get out of position as he misses the most important site, and now he'll be smoked off as well. Still going to be 2 members remaining, and with time running out, they're just looking for some kills for their troubles. Of course, that was relatively a rough economy round for PartyParrots, and so fish123 still in the driver's seat. But this is where finally rounds will be back on the board. But you love to see knife kills, all the angles, all the different ways that we can see it. You love to see it.
That ending to that round was brutal. The Rolling Thunder and the Paranoia, like, just try to do anything. Not only are you dazed, your shots are slower, but now you can't see anything because Paranoia has just taken over. Good luck. Aggressive peek coming out, and it's going to be Eccles who punishes with the operator, has to back off. Could have been a potential collateral there, but it doesn't look like the bullet went through. Still, though, a great start to the round, as Angel will be taken out of contention for the remainder. There is no res currently for the Sage. Not sure where that res is at, if they can grab maybe long C orb and bring him back into play. You can see the Sage Artist currently moving in that direction. And there is no active peek going on over on long C. Again, you've got Cryptic's backside just playing back behind the platform. And there's the orb pickup, and there's the res. So exactly what we thought we might see will result in Angel coming back into play.
And quite honestly, they need this now more than ever. 2 rounds remain in the half. I did say that I didn't think I would see a 9-3 half, but off of that eco, it's 7-3. Very, very doable if PartyParrots lose the round at hand. I'm not quite sure they will have the economy to buy. So really, it's going to be their ability to take this site here that's going to net them the round potentially, but it's already been a quick trade. Showstopper will work, but Sulcus will be there for the eventual frag. They'll try to spray down this wall. SSK is going to find Eccles, and maybe they might still continue to look towards another site as they're starting to be pinched here. Spike, of course, going to be going down, which means it'll be the B site retake for the defense. Now Cryptic's going to be going in alongside Link on the opposite side as Sulcus will clear out the right. 2 members behind Gong, and so this will be a very difficult position to be in, but it's a great orbital strike. Might be able to find one, but it finds none. It's a quick trade of kills. Sage for the Sage, and now down to the 2v3. Sulcus trying to find an angle here in the courtyard. See who's lurking about, but repositions into that cubby. Still with the spike ticking down. Sulcus needs to make a move and make it soon. It's going to be the early rotate, and Artist will pay with his life, but still now as he swings, he might be dealt with a couple of PartyParrots. Finds Angel as well, but it's Dinksjay that'll find the last frag, and a desperate round goes in favor of PartyParrots.
Dinksjay also barely escaped that spike radius. You can see that black detonation orb. There's that early shot coming out from Eccles. I mean, if you looked, he turned around and it was right by the door he just walked through after winning that 1v1. I mean, you saw the round, just the way it went through is somewhat chaotic in nature. Yeah. It started with Shao's blind rocket shot on the site that opened things up. The round went back and forth before eventually PartyParrots ended up taking it. Here's again the flash over on long. Gonna force Eccles out of position, who's got the operator one right around the corner. Cyber cage going down. Doesn't pop it in time. Actually throws both cyber cages. Doesn't get a chance to use either one. Dies before getting that opportunity. The Owl drone coming in from Sulcus on the backside of the default boxes. Gonna be peering around into short to make sure no one's coming through from that territory. There isn't. There's still one more long, but now they're starting to regroup and head towards B.
I mean, at that point, what can you do? They really flush out the A site quite well. Scream able to stop the leader from pushing forward. Still, the rest of the army looking to try to get control of this B site. They'll now start to push in. Only one frag for the money so far, and it's Scream is the one to fall. Eccles has a great cross here into the site. Still, Spike going to be difficult to be planted, and they might need to double back and re-strategize. But it is, of course, the last and final round, so no point in saving weapons into the next round, just down to SSK, and he's in a 1v4. Gonna be very difficult to come out on top here. They'll just swing together as a team, and it's an 8-4 score line. PartyParrots now going to be swapping over to defense, and we've seen fish123 on attack. This is where they feel comfortable, and considering how dominant the first half was on defense, you can only expect that it's only going to get worse from here for PartyParrots.
I mean, fish123 has pretty much shreked everyone they played on Haven throughout this event.
Yeah.
They destroyed Prodigy. They did really good against NIP, winning 13-5. So we expected this to be their map. It was heavy anticipation considering that PartyParrots historically hasn't played a lot of Haven. This is probably one of their less frequent maps, which made it really peculiar when they picked it yesterday, or on day one, excuse me, against Need More DM, and ended up having to go into double overtime just to close things out 15-13. So we anticipated map 1 would very likely be fish123 taking it somewhat easily. The hope was that you'd see at least a little bit of resistance from PartyParrots, which at times we got. But we also saw eco rounds won for both sides, so it was a little bit of a peculiar first half. fish123 now swapping over to the attack. We'll see if they are able to chain rounds a little bit better than they did on the defense, and they still did fine on the defense with that, just at times surrendering to rounds that were maybe a little bit softer, that should have been easy wins for them. They ended up succumbing to. Early on, we saw presence towards A. fish123 decides to back off and head more towards spawn. You've got a player right around the corner in garage. It's the Raze. Artist was there as well. Decides to back off. Goes for the heal. It's Xiao who's playing with the shorty in this position. It's tough to get multiple kills from there, and it's going to be even harder with them going more towards the B site. Artist gets flashed out of position. The site's been lost. There's the Sage Wall going up. Angel picks one off over from A connector. The breach charged through the wall, going to keep them from firing, but there's Xiao with that shotgun coming through. And now it's a 5-on-3 in favor of PartyParrots.
Yeah, it's an important pistol for them to win too. Cryptic's going to find Angel, but still they're going to start to try to defend the site as the defense will funnel in one at a time, just down to Link now. He's going to try to find one more frag for his team, but it's going to be the 4v none now as PartyParrots will clean up, only losing Angel in the process, and just a little bit of HP off the top for Artist. And quite honestly, it's an important pistol for PartyParrots to win. NIP, of course, they were able to win the pistol against fish123, but then this is actually the round where fish123 were able to win over NIP, the round that usually you win. You win the pistol, you win the quote-unquote SMG round. Well, this is where fish123 were able to take it against NIP, and so we'll have to see what ends up happening. It's looking like a heavy stack towards C. I can only imagine it's going to be one hell of a rush. They've got double flash. It's going to be a nightmare for the Cypher player on the opposite side, Dinksjay. But it looks like he's got a Marshall, and that's got to hurt with no armor.
We've seen some crazy Marshall play this event. Impala really stands out as one of those players who's just put in work with the Marshall. Dinksjay does get flushed out of position. You can see significant damage dealt to Artist, who was over in garage. Eccles goes down to SSK, who's putting in work right now with the SMG. Angel trying to get into position as well. There's the shot from Dinksjay. It's all onto Solkas here as the Sova swaps over to the SMG. We'll actually be able to get one more here from the Spectre, but the spike's already being stuck, so the round's lost. But good damage being dealt from fish123, given that they came into this one with limited investment.
Yeah. I mean, he'll save that weapon to the next... Well, he was supposed to save the weapon to the next round, but unfortunately, he couldn't really find a great place to hide. They knew exactly where he is based off of the frag that he got onto SSK. And so, PartyParrots, they win the first 2 rounds. Going to be very important for them to do so. Already doing slightly better than NIP did on Haven. And so the outlook right now is great, but we are now in the gun round, Bach, and that means fish123 can really start to play how they want to play with the economy that they've got. And so we'll see what ends up happening. Recon Bolt early in the sewers will spot out Angel. And so now we'll see how fish123 decide to just ever so slightly split up and gather intel across all avenues.
Solkan's going to use that Al drone early on. Nope, never mind. Changes his tune as the team starts moving in short. It's him and Scream. A 2-man duo. Problem is, there's 3 players for the defense currently on A. You've got the Breach, the Brim, and the Rays all here. So you've got Angel and you've got SSK back behind default boxes, backing up the Rays, who's trapped in the corner. That means there's a heavy weakness somewhere else. B and C with one defender each. The Sage playing solo on C, using the Cypher Cam and hardware as backup. Unfortunately for fish123, they are wandering right into this trap. You can see the three-man hold, and it's not slowing them down. They don't know that this is here. So a multitude of players currently grouped up on short, about to make their way onto this A site. Molly does come down from backside site, and now they're starting to work their way out. There's the flash to go in. The Al drone as well. Double flash coming out as Scream starts to open up the site. The flash blinding him in the corner. Shao can't do much. It's up to SSK on the site with just a frenzy, and it's all falling apart. It's Artist who is across the map. The super late take coming out from fish123 results in success. PartyParrots scrambled to try to play defense despite the strength on the site. It just did not work out for them at all. There is low HP for Scream here, so maybe there's a kill coming through, but Cryptic spams away through his cyber cage. Artist can't escape. 9 rounds on the board for fish123.
Again, I'd love to see how the scoreboard looked at the beginning of that round, because it did look like some of the PartyParrots decided not to really buy up, and really this will be the round that I think they'll have the credits to spend, and they'll really be able to take it toe-to-toe with fish123. But of course, there is a little bit of a scoreboard bug. Bach and I are used to sounding like a broken record due to some of the observer bugs in the past, but Riot, of course, is aware of it. Next patch, going to be July 21st, likely will take care of the scoreboard bug, so very shortly we will see some of those upgrades. Already a look towards A for fish123. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, but it's starting to be broken up here ever so slightly. Cryptics will be taken out by Angel by an early push in the sewers.
Shao sends the boombot over towards Long. Shao now stuck behind this box. The flash might come through. No, it's a breach charge. Scream is holding the angle, trying to punish.
Wow.
But Scream can't convert. So it's a kill going the way of Shao. Scream did pick off one before that, though, so there's at least that. It's a 4-on-3 advantage here for PartyParrots. Artist on the B site. Oh, he saw the barrel through the wall. Starts to spam. Takes out Solcus and brings it down to 2. Eccles and Link. And now just Link, the Sage, trying to come up mid. And it's a 1-on-4. Great defense coming out from PartyParrots.
And let's talk about the repercussions of this round, because it does look like Link, the last member standing, may not survive. And as I say, that Artist will take him out straight to the dome. But I think the next round to follow, fish123 won't really have the credits to stay competitive. They, of course, I think forced up there because I did see some assault rifles on their side. So likely going to be the pistols for them, but already this is a better look than NIP was able to produce on Haven against fish123. And Bach, if PartyParrots are able to sneak this one out, they're going to go to their comfort pick, Split, where they were able to take out G2, likely the favorites of the tournament. And so as these rounds really start to pile on for PartyParrots, I start to worry for fish123, because after this best of 3, if they don't come out on top, they're sent packing home.
Revealing area.
Kind of wild to think that one of these teams will not be competing in the playoffs. I mean, we talked about it before the match went live. Would have anticipated both of them would make it that far. Breach going to be opening up. Garage, the Al drone kind of led things in first. The slow orb wasn't enough to slow them down. Great paranoia on a backside site. Artist can't see much. Eccles is there to get the first. Traded out immediately as Angel is waking up. There's 2 that remain. It's Solcus and Scream trying to make their way out onto the site. SSK says, no, not welcome. Persona non grata. It will be an 8th round for PartyParrots. They are 1 away from tying things up.
Okay, so that was the round that fish123 were able to buy. It's starting to be a little difficult to keep track, but now it means, at least I think it means, that they will be on the pistol. So PartyParrots could very likely even things out here, and that is important for them, because you've closed the gap that fish123 were able to build on the defensive side, and now you're on the defensive side. You've got ultimates available. Your economy is starting to balloon. And it's all looking good here for PartyParrots. So for fish123, they really need to start being a little bit more careful and a little bit more strategical in their approaches on how they take these sites. So far, even that last round, they just funneled into Haven blindly, hoping to win on just pure gun duels. Yes, there were a couple of smokes for the execute, but it just did not work out.
Speaking of an execute, here comes the push on to B. The orbital strike gonna make things quite difficult. Angel just sews them into the corner. Scream's gonna pop that rolling thunder, but it does not help whatsoever. The ult somewhat wasted as the team completely fell apart. I think the plan was actually to use that wall to rush into the backside of A, but it doesn't come through. They just get crushed on the take. Really strong defense yet again from PartyParrots. To be fair, fish123 didn't have the greatest equipment. I mean, coming into that round, you're working with pistols. You're not really working with a whole lot. The attempt was to use the abilities they had built up to try to get into the site. So that's why that rolling thunder gets popped. But they still have 3 ults remaining. But on the opposite side, they've got 4. They've got the showstopper. They've got rolling thunder. They've got res. And then they've got the neural theft as well.
Okay. Scream with an early pick means good things for fish123. He's gonna find a second one. It was Artist that was peeking over the B box, and Solkis will follow up with a third. It is not looking good here for PartyParrots. Those entry kills, I'm not gonna say guarantee the round, but it's highly likely that they will be able to just freely walk onto whatever site they want. Eccles with an early look towards C, just wasting some of that utility early. Dinksjay cautiously walks forward, tries to see if anyone is nearby. I think it's the one way that's popped and doesn't see anyone on the opposite side. It is, of course, fish123 that are still lurking around the courtyard. Might be looking for a C push. Of course, it is Eccles' job now to gather the information to see if anyone's there. Looks around. Site looks like it's free to take, and it might be fish123 executing shortly on either C or B.
There you go. There's the heal coming out for Scream eventually. I was watching it happen early on. Solkas got the heal over Scream, and in my mind, I'm like, you know what? If I'm the Sage for this team, I feel like my heal is reserved for him as long as he's still alive. Just with the way he's been hitting some just ridiculously dirty shots. You saw it there, taking down the Sage on backside of B behind the big box, using the wall to boost over. It's a headshot angle. There's only one thing you can hit. It's good for Scream. That's the only thing he does hit. Comes down to 2, and naturally they're setting up for exits, just trying to find an angle to save these weapons. They do have the 2 ults, so maybe if they can find something, an opener, they'll actually push forward. And they're moving up a lot closer towards C than you might anticipate. And if they back off too far, is there a realm of possibility where a defuse can come through? You can see both players currently making it onto C. The spike is there. Can they actually stick this? There's a possibility they could go for this.
Oh no, no, wait, no.
Oh, not
okay,
enough time. They backed off.
They ran out of time. Yeah. Okay, that was
like,
that was close.
Hold on. If they started running sooner, I think they were anticipating seeing someone. If they started running sooner, there's a very real possibility that they can start that defuse.
I need this.
But obviously with the spike as far as it was, once they got there wasn't much that could be done. So fish123, they see things go to a tie score and they take the lead right back.
It was close. It was all about timing there at the end. And I like the attempt from PartyParrots, you know. Usually you'll just commit to the save of the weaponry, but they were feeling a little overzealous, trying to find something and convert it into really anything. And of course, if they were able to find a frag, it would mean, of course, the economy start to falter a little bit for fish123. But it's looking good so far. Weapons online, of course, once again for yet another round for the attack. An early pick onto Dinksjay, who was held up in the garage, and it might be the res to bring him back into the mix. I do see, of course, Artist looking for that potentially, and that'll be the confirmation. It'll be now the Hunter's Fury that tries to make things a little bit more difficult and unfortunately won't tag anyone.
Eccles getting onto the C site past the tripwire using that port. They hear the port as they do have Sage over in short, so they hear that and they know what's going on. So Eccles is on site, going to go ahead and lay down that dark cover towards spawn. They've already pushed past it though, so Eccles is in kind of a difficult position. Actually going to get hit by the ult that comes out, the Rolling Thunder. There's the flash as well, and that works out real well for PartyParrots. It's a 4-on-2 in favor of PartyParrots as the push towards that C site gets completely crushed. And it comes down to SSK, who's around the corner. You've got the Sage on site as well. Cypher over towards the platform. Ray's the only one that isn't. Link's going to pick off Dinksj, who is peering up a little bit too much. And now, as a result, the res comes through, and it's a 3-on-3, but the time is a problem. 12 seconds left as they try to get towards the site. SSK's right around the corner. Will get the first. There's the Treat Peaks coming out. Cryptic's going to find both, but with the clock where it's at, it's going to come down to the fight, and all the Rays has to do is survive, and there's the round win.
Yep, might even get the exit here for the last and final. Oh, that's going to be a cheeky little... Oh, close. I appreciate the attempt. That's going to be around here for PartyParrots. It's close. This could very well go to overtime, and that could mean a lot. We're having an early look at that pick. They broke down the wall, and unfortunately, the angle was just rough. You know what I think happened there? I wonder if Scream flashed onto the site as they were anticipating a push. They used a lot of the utility to slow them down from long, but unfortunately in the process, Eccles gets flashed too, and he can't really help the team as they push forward. And so I like how he got onto the site. They weren't even able to really tell. Of course, the audio cue might have given them a slight indication of where he might be, but I think Scream not accidentally, he was trying to flash onto the site, but Eccles just couldn't really do anything there.
This is a big round, as PartyParrots and fish123 continue to fight for control of the game. I mean, this is the best game we've seen from PartyParrots on Haven thus far, considering who they're playing against. Fish123 crushed everyone they played, including NIP on Haven in this tournament so far. It's a 4-on-4 as the trades go back and forth over on the A site. Angel's going to get aggressive, and again, the trades just go back and forth. We find ourselves at a 2-on-2. The A site's lost, but only for a moment. Cypher is already here playing that defense. You've got Cryptics up in heaven, but the Sage is not there. Or it's Dinksj, excuse me. Cryptics being the wrong call out. That would be the other Cypher, excuse me.
Yes.
So it's now down to Solkus. 1v2. And he knows the op is here. 23 HP as the Sova. Wants to lead in with the Al drone. Kind of risky, given that there could be someone on the site. They could trace that path right to him. Just uses it real quick, just to make sure site's clear enough to get out and get that spike control. It is. So now, with 23 HP, how does he adjust and win this one? First one's already coming out through spawn. Goes for the peek. Gunned down through the box by Artist. PartyParrots taking the lead away in the tail part of this first map.
And that's their first lead of the map. Fish123 had a great start on defense. 8-4 was the scoreline. PartyParrots could hardly crack the shell, but still did a relatively better job. But having an early look here to the defense in the sewers, Angel finds one, but it's SSK there who's able to find a great swing together. It is, of course, the trade, but it's Dinksj that'll dwindle those odds even further for the defense with the operator. And so now, potentially, Fish123, they are, of course, on the force-up. If they lose this round, if PartyParrots are able to hold them off, then I think it's match point on an eco for Fish123. So they're desperately looking for anything that they can get. Angel, of course, going to be holding off the sewer push, but they're a little afraid to push forward. Gets tagged down to 80, and it's still the attack held up back near their spawn.
Shao pushed up really far on long A right now. He's got backup from the brim of Angel. You can see the buy coming in. Not exactly great. You've got Bulldogs in place here for Fish123. But they're currently playing this one a little bit slow. They don't want to wander into something and go into that identical back and forth battle. Shao is in a really good spot should they try to go out long. And even if they don't, if they go short, he's got a great flank. It all comes down to timing, as there's one on the backside of the play. So EC1S Eccles going to call that one out. Shao, though, still manages to get a second, and it's on to Scream, no less. So Eccles gets picked off first, then Scream goes down. Angel's here as well, pushed up on long. This round is looking disastrous for Fish123. We said this should likely be Fish123's map to take, but now I'm not so sure. This could actually have the makings of a 2-0 if PartyParrots can pull this off.
I like the relative bait towards the seaside. They'll actually even start to pull some of those members off. But Angel determined, as we have a look over towards a pip, they need to get that spike down. There's not a lot of time left. They might start to hear that execute from Angel, as that spike is going to go down. But will it go in time? The headshot's good, and now there's not enough time to get the spike down. It is all up to the last final two players. and it's the defense that win the round. Of course, Link going to make it expensive, 3 kills for him, but at what cost? It's match point for PartyParrots.
Would love to take a look at the credits, but obviously going to be difficult. Xiao was the one that got things started. That aggressive play on long, pushed up into that corner. Somehow not only takes out Eccles, but also finds the follow-up onto Scream, despite 3 players being grouped up, ready for a trade-out. That was huge. Had he gotten that timing wrong at all, had Xiao timed that even a little bit off, that is likely an early kill and advantage for fish123. So now it's fish123 who have their backs against the wall on the attack as PartyParrots have stolen the lead away and have now found themselves on match point. Again, day 1 of this event, they played against Need More DM, and it had to go to double overtime for them to win 15-13. They struggled to even get to that point as they went down 0-6 in the first half. This is a drastically different team. They've woken up, they've found that confidence, and fish123 is currently feeling somewhat deflated.
Well, quite honestly, it seems like PartyParrots are fighting for their ability to be picked up by a team, and especially after their performances in this tournament, I think it would be an absolute shame if a team does not have their eyes set on this roster. Considering their performances now against fish123 and their desire to move on to the semifinals, this would be the tournament to make your mark. Now looking at the actual round at hand is, of course, fish123 that are a little indecisive on where they want to go. All the intel that they were looking to gather has kind of come up empty-handed. And now they're playing the banana take a little bit more carefully, afraid of Xiao and his ability to hide in a nook and cranny that they might not expect. But fortunately for them, the A site's relatively clear. They've spent a lot of resources over towards C, anticipating a heavy push. And it's going to be actually the ultimate. I'm not quite sure if that's in heaven or hell. I'm going to assume that that's going to be in hell, as it'll be the Omen player that's back there. Eccles, still a couple more seconds left. There's not a whole lot of time to get that spike down, and he takes out the carrier. There's not enough time. Angel's mowing him down, and it's the first map win for PartyParrots.
I mean, you saw it. He's getting prepped for that ult. The Rolling Thunder comes through, but it doesn't go deep enough into heaven. So Angel just waits, delays. As soon as he hears that spike, pops the orbital strike right on top of the site, and then that flushes the spike out of position. When they try to get back in, he just peeks wide. Somehow they're not watching.